Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. So we're going to dive into a brand that is honestly, and I mean flat out, they are changing the whiskey game. Judge, repeat that. They are changing the whiskey game, and I really mean that. So a few weeks ago, I had on Mia from, let's go ahead and just call it out there, from JT Meleck. And Mia, if you haven't watched that live stream, by the way, check out that live stream. I had Mia on from JT Meleck. And when I say Mia just brings the enthusiasm, she brings the charisma, just super fun, great person. I really enjoyed having her on the channel and learning about everything JT Meleck. So when you think of JT Meleck, they are based out of Louisiana. And they're making their whiskey, their small batch or their cask strength, like their single barrels. They're making their whiskey out of rice. Yes, it is rice whiskey. But when you sip it, folks, I'm telling you, it is right in line with bourbon. And it is flat out amazing. Flat out amazing. So this brand is truly changing the whiskey game across the board. So during the live stream, we went ahead and we tried their small batch, which was, I mean, slam dunk. Amazing. Then while we're there, we obviously dived into the cask strength, but Mia, as well as on the live stream, my good friends Kurt over at Kurt from SLB Drinks was like, Judge, you need to try their vodka. Mia, of course, was like, Judge, try their vodka. So I went ahead, I grabbed it, bought it myself over on Bourbon Outfitters. Here's their bottle of their vodka, which just came in like maybe about a week and a half ago. I tried this. Even Mrs. Judge tried this. And when I had a sip of this vodka, yes, we're talking about vodka. The judge has crossed it over. Even to the vodka, folks. When I had a sip of their vodka, let's just say it's creamy, it's sweet, it's everything that you would not think vodka would be. It's absolutely amazing. And this is sipping it neat. Truly sipping it neat. So Mrs. Judge is going to start using this, I think she said, for some of her mixed drinks, which is pretty cool. But you may want to check out JT Meleck if you haven't done thus far. So real quick, before we dive into the rest of the whiskey, cheers to their vodka again. Whew. 80 proof. It's sweet. It's a creamy vodka. That's insane. So I'm glad I listened to my good friend Kurt over at SLB Drinks. Kurt, you were right, buddy. You were right. I call it how it is. You were absolutely spot on. Then we moved on and we tried one of their cask strength whiskeys. This one here, which was a single barrel that Mrs. Judge actually got me over at Bourbon Outfitters, called the Whiskey Idiots. Try this one. I'm going to try it right now real quick. When me and I had this one, if you want to try a whiskey, a brand, a rice whiskey that is truly flat out a unique pour, tons of maple syrup, tons of oak, tons of caramel, tons of like depth to the whiskey itself, and I mean a ton of depth. Please do yourself a favor. I don't care if you have to hunt. I don't care if you have to call a cousin, a friend in certain states. Like I know they recently just went live. So as an example, JT Meleck, they are actually expanding even outside of like Louisiana. They went live from a brand perspective in the state of Texas. But honestly, the easiest thing to do is just to go ahead and go online to places like Bourbon Outfitters. So this bottle right here, which Mrs. Judge got for me, you know, I didn't know when I first had it whether or not if I was going to like it. Let's just say, woo! I love it. Flat out, I love it. Cool thing about JT Meleck, they are a grain to bottle shop. So they do it all. They grow their own grains, their rice, obviously. They distill it, they age it there, they bottle it, they do everything themselves. And I respect that this day and age, especially when there's like, you know, obviously there's a ton of sourcing, and not that sourcing is a bad thing, because it's actually a pretty cool thing, but I do respect the original, let's call it distilleries, that do everything themselves. There's something about that, in my opinion. Now, I'm such a believer in the brand, I said, Mrs. Judge, there's another single barrel out there on Bourbon Outfitters. And I had to have it. So I went ahead, I bought it. So this one here is another single barrel from JT Meleck. This is a single barrel. This one's called Branchwater. Comes in at 107.4 proof. What I will say is, obviously you can go online, places like Bourbon Outfitter. I think maybe even like Shared Pour might be starting to carry their stuff too. But go ahead, check them out online. Obviously, if you live, depending like out like near Louisiana or even like Texas, you can get their stuff in stores as well. But the easiest thing to do is honestly just go directly to their website, and you can just plug in exactly where you are, like where you're located, and they'll tell you exactly where you can find JT Meleck products. All right, let's go ahead and pop this bad boy. Don't you love that sound? Oh man. So Branchwater coming in at 107.4. I've heard from some of my whiskey friends out there, not just whiskey tubers, but just whiskey friends in general, that this single barrel is legit, equally as legit as that one. So, as they say in this courtroom, let the judge make that decision. Or technically, I guess, let the judge make that verdict. All right, folks, let's dive into this Branchwater from JT Meleck, and let's see if it's if the truth is really all there with JT Meleck. All right, cheers. Oh my. That's creamy. Maple syrup. A little bit of like a cinnamon stick kind of in there. Maple syrup, like a dash of like a cinnamon stick. A little spice to it. Sweet. Tons of oak. Tons of caramel. A little bit of brown sugar as well. I have to have another sip of this. Oh man. It might even be better than this one. Maybe. Oh boy. This is tough. Cheers again. Ooh. At 107.4 proof. No, 107.4. At the back of the palate, it's nice and clean, nice and sweet. Slightly, obviously from a proof point, a little bit lower than this bad boy. So this one, it's just crushable. Very dangerous, extremely dangerous. Folks, hopefully I've helped many people out there, because this is the up and coming brand on the market. Until the next time, my friends, peace, cheers, and do yourself a favor. Grab a JT Meleck bottle. You won't be disappointed. Salute. Take care.